Here to talk about it with all the details, joining us via satellite from Washington, Lori Windham, who is the senior counsel for the Becket Fund for Religious Liberty. I am joined here at Newsmax, at our Newsmax Television Center by Francesca Page. So let's get to the questioning, and I know it should be ladies first, but I'm kind of rude, Francesca. Forgive me. Lori, can you break it down for us? What is the new proposal from the Obama administration?
Well, you know, JD, another Friday, another document dump. They issued about 70 pages of regulations and proposed regulations this past Friday. They are proposing to change some of the notification procedures for religious ministries who object to this mandate. And for the first time, they are recognizing that American families do not lose their religious freedom when they open a family business. And they're proposing to make an accommodation, as they call it, for family business owners. This is the 8th time that the administration has changed this mandate. This is just the latest step in their long retreat as they have been losing again and again in their legal battles.
Lori, what do you expect the reaction to be?
You know, it's hard to say. I know that there is going to be a lot of disappointment. Religious ministries have been urging the administration to recognize that ministries that serve and help the poor and serve their country deserve the same degree of freedom as churches who are already exempt from this mandate. So I know they're going to be disappointed that they are still given a half measure, an accommodation, rather than a full exemption. Whether this accommodation is going to be satisfactory to the hundreds of different religious organizations challenging this mandate, we'll have to wait and see. I think we'll be hearing pretty soon from some of the major organizations whether or not they find this to be satisfactory.
So, Lori, from where you sit, what are the implications of these accommodations?
Well, what the accommodations do is that they change the notification procedure. Instead of going to your insurance administrator and saying, hey, I can't do this, you have to do it for me, you go to the government and you say, hey, government, I can't do this, here's who my insurance administrator is. And then the government's going to turn around and go to your insurance administrator and say, hey, you need to do this for them. So that's the primary change that they're making. Whether religious organizations feel that this is enough separation between something that they cannot do and something that the government is mandating someone to do is really a question of conscience and a question of religious belief that they're going to have to wrestle with.
Lori, would you say that they're actually exposing themselves to even more lawsuits from other groups?
Well, I think that they are certainly, making changes to these rules, and I don't know what the impact of those full changes are going to be. We already have several hundred religious organizations who are part of lawsuits challenging this mandate, and so we will see very soon how many of those lawsuits, perhaps all of them, we don't know, will continue.
Well, Lori, we know you are uniquely positioned to continue to monitor the implications of these so-called accommodations. We remember seeing you on the steps of the Supreme Court in the wake of the Hobby Lobby decision, and it was fascinating. At times you join us and seem to almost sound as if you have modern-day prophecy on some of these things that happen, but we appreciate the fact you understand the law so well, and you can take a look at the machinations of the administration and some of the reactions that are ahead. Lori, as always, we thank you for joining us today from Washington, D.C.
Thank you, JD, for having me on.
Lori Windham, senior counsel with the Becket Fund for Religious Liberty. So, your take on these so-called accommodations. Do you believe what's afoot with the administration? Why don't you tweet us your comments at Newsmax TV, #America's Forum. There's also newsmaxtv.com/comment. And don't forget Facebook. You can find us at facebook.com/Newsmax. Heck, there's even an America's Forum page on Facebook, and we're coming right back.